Welcome back, first timers.
We're camping again. It's been a long time since we posted a camping video. Today we're at Torreya State Park in Bristol, Florida, and it's rated as one of the top state parks in Florida. And we're here to check it out and see what makes it so special.
So we got here a little bit late. We didn't account for the Eastern time zone time change. And yes, this is in the Eastern time zone. So we're staying in campsite 6. There's 28 available spots and they have 2 yurts that we'll show you in a little bit. Each spot has water and electric hookups, but none of them have sewer hookups. There is a dump station that accommodates all 28 spots. Each site comes with a fire pit and a picnic table. The spots vary. Some are paved, some are grass, some are gravel.
If you show up a little late like we did, you can get your parking pass right on a little table inside the registration office. While you're in here, check out some of the artifacts and the information on the walls. We're here in the early spring, and some of the other campers came over to us while we were setting up to let us know that the ticks are really bad. So if you're out here, just be aware of that. Wear some long pants, check your hair. They also have snakes and alligators here, so watch out for those too. Be safe out there on the trails. For right now, we're going to check out the sunset on this little overlook.
We're gonna get camp set up, get a fire going, and Terry has something special for dinner tonight, and we'll see in just a little bit. It's gonna be a perfect sit by the fire night. It's gonna drop down to the 50s. It'd be perfect to just sit in our chairs and relax, if we would remember to bring our chairs. Luckily, we have the bench here. Not as comfortable, but man, we always forget something. We really need a checklist.
While David's out there getting the fire ready, I'm gonna make some pizza. Never made pizza here in the trailer before, but how hard could it be, right? Just using some stone fire pizza crust, some prosciutto, pepperoni, arugula, tomatoes, fresh mozzarella, all the good stuff.
Fire's made. Where's my pizza?
It's coming up. It's burned to a crisp. You should probably get a pizza stone to diffuse the heat.
Side note, I mentioned getting a pizza stone, but Terry didn't want it. And now our pizzas are burnt to a crisp. But that's okay. We have another round of pizzas we're gonna try. I'm gonna take over the pizzas now. Terry's gonna watch the fire. We'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll give you a tour of the campsite and then take you on a hike.
Bye.
Good morning, first timers. Woke up bright and early. Gonna take Noodles for a walk, check out the campsite, check out the park, and then we're gonna go check out a historic pre-Civil War plantation home that is right here in the park. And then we're gonna see what else this park has to offer. We brought firewood for 2 days of burning, but we got a little carried away last night and ended up staying out there for hours. So we burned through pretty much all of our wood. And if you come here and that's the case for you, they also have firewood here. In the center of the park, there's a little grass area where your kids can play, but there's also a male and female restroom there too. And then just right across the street from that, there's another set of bathrooms. So there's plenty of bathrooms. The ones in the center are single person use, and then the ones on the side are a little bit larger. We're in spot 6, and the ones along that area seem to be a little bit more narrow and don't really have much of a view out the back because it's completely wooded. The higher numbers like 26, 27, 28, and 29 seem to be a lot wider, a little bit more grass, and then the back of them open up to a pretty nice view. So if you're looking to book, maybe look at the higher numbers. Torreya State Park has the one and only true yurt in the Florida State Park Service. The yurt is a 20-foot round dome tent with flooring, electricity, a lockable wooden door, and 3 large screen windows with flaps that open and close. The yurt accommodates 5 people. It includes air conditioning, heating, a skylight, a full-size bed with bunk, twin beds on top, a queen-size bed, a table, chairs, and a deck. They do not provide any linens, so make sure you bring your own. And sadly, pets are not allowed. Sorry, Noodles. Just outside of the campsite, there's an entire park out here with pavilions and an area for kids to play. So if the campsite's a little bit small and not enough place to run around, you got this right down the street.
This is the Jason Gregory house. We're here to take a tour. On the weekends, they do tours at 10, 2, and 4, and during the week, they only do tours at 10 o'clock. Little history on the Jason Gregory house. It was built in the 1840s. It's about 3,000 square feet. Originally, it sat on the west bank of the Apalachicola River, but in the 1930s, it was given to the Civil Conservation Corps with the understanding that they would move it to the west bank. So they dismantled the house brick by brick, board by board, put it on a barge, and moved it to where it sits now on the west bank.
In 2018, this entire area got walloped by Cat 5 Hurricane Michael, and it completely decimated so many structures and buildings in this area. But shockingly, the Gregory house withstood those 140-mile-an-hour winds and made it out relatively unscathed. Now, the entire area was pretty well torn apart. The trees were down. 6 years later, it looks like it's bounced back and recovered.
This park is located in the Eastern Time Zone, and the dividing line for Eastern and Central Time is the middle of the Apalachicola River. But if you're here, your cell phone's going to ping off of a tower that's about 10 miles away, so you're going to bounce back and forth between Eastern and Central Time.
The Apalachicola River right here is the longest in Florida, and it starts just over here in Three Rivers State Park, where 3 rivers converge into one. It's the Flint, the Chattahoochee, and Spring Creek, and that water comes all the way down here and feeds into the Apalachicola Bay, where it's home to oysters that are eaten and enjoyed all over this area. But don't worry, we're going to be checking out the Three Rivers State Park in an upcoming video. These are the benches where you're going to meet to start your tour, but make sure you're there on time or early, because if the tour starts without you, they're not letting you in.
They're one of their main drinks, of course, coffee and tea. But they also drank something that came out of the corn. Get up to him. He's a bean rascal. He's 5'1", wore leather boots up to here. Yeah. When I come in here by myself, I talk to her. I say, "Hey girl, how you doing?" And she hasn't said anything to me yet. If she does, I'll make another door. But Chaffa is the main, most active ghost. I talk to her all the time. We also have William T. Gregory. You'll see his footlocker. He was a captain in the Confederate Army. And we also have Jason. But Chaffa, she's moving pictures, pulling bed covers back. She's very active in the house. All right, moving to the parlor.
This is the bed where Chaffa died. Pretty.
This one is another guy. His name is William T. Gregory. That is a full-size couch, early 80s. Where you see it?
That tour was amazing. A little bit of history, fable, ghost stories. It had everything.
And it was funny and entertaining too at the same time.
For adults, tours are $3. For kids, it's $2, and then for little kids, it's free. But man, totally worth it.
Best $3 I spent today.
We have a few more spots to check out here at the state park.
Right behind the Gregory house, there's a trail that'll take you to one of the cannon emplacements. This land used to house about 200 Confederate soldiers in the 1860s.
With us being so close to the water and all this foliage, be prepared for the mosquitoes. They are out in force. We put on bug spray. It's just keeping them at bay right now. But the trail right behind the Gregory house will take you right past a bunch of gun batteries and take you right down to the river. As we're going through the trail, seeing some of the bushes and small trees broken, you could definitely hear something pretty large in the woods. They do say you got to be bear aware, so hopefully we don't encounter a bear.
Down this way, near the picnic area, there's also primitive camping. So if you want to camp way out in the woods, that's where you should go. But this way, look out for alligators.
As we're getting close to the river, the terrain's getting a little rougher, a little wetter, a little more likely to have alligators. So if you're wearing Crocs for this hike, which is not advisable, it's time to put them in sport mode. But just to be clear, neither one of us are wearing Crocs right now.
There is water access and a boat ramp about 9 miles away, but I was told it's not a great area to be in, so we're going to skip that for today. This is probably about as close as we're going to get to the water with this trail. Super slick.
We might get to the water after all. In case you get the urge, don't fall victim to it. Absolutely no swimming. The river's moving really quick. There looks like a lot of debris, and there's plenty of alligator signs. Everything's telling you, don't get in that water.
We got closer to the water. Doesn't look like you could launch a kayak or anything out of here or lounge by the river, but we're pretty close. Torreya State Park has about 16 miles of hiking trails, but they are pretty difficult, so make sure you come with proper shoes and water for your hike. This state park is named after the Torreya tree, which is the oldest and rarest tree in the world. There's only about 200 of them left here in the park, and they grow up along the bluffs along the river. Originally, they were called the stinking cedar because when you cut them, they smell really, really bad.
Be careful with the bridge. The planks are a little soggy. Initial reactions?
It's a good hike. I liked it. A little slippery, a little steep in parts. It's good.
If you're staying here at Torreya State Park and you didn't bring enough food or supplies, it's a bit of a haul to get back into town for anything like that. We're gonna have some leftover pizza and watch Back to the Future too. But if you like this video, check out one of our other camping videos.
We'll link it right here-ish.
Thanks again for following along in this episode, and join us next time when we try something else new for the first time.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. First timers.
High five.
You can see the hammock battery that still houses the, and you can still see the gun, and you can still see the cannon and